You are oozing sensuality at this particular point in time with this divine feminine energy, and you have this person hooked. This is somebody that is like, yes, what's your wish? I will fulfill that. Your wish is my command. What do I need to do in order to earn a place by your side, in order to secure my position as your plus one, as your significant other? Your aura, your energy, your presence is so powerful at this particular point in time. You are shining brighter than the sun in this person's eyes at this moment. And unlike other people you might have dealt with in the past who could have been intimidated by that, or, they weren't operating on that level, or they were operating a lot out of ego and kind of, wanted to sort of dim your light, squish your light just a little bit in order to feel better about themselves. This is somebody that is like, baby, where have you been my whole life? Because I have been seeking an empowered person like you. I have been looking for somebody that is just radiating this essence of someone who truly is in alignment within themselves. Like, it's obvious that you know who you are. You've gone on some kind of quest of self-discovery, and you've come up with all of the right answers. You've created a relationship with yourself where you have started first and foremost by beautifying that garden inside of you, the garden in your soul. And this is something that has translated very obviously and in a way that is very appealing, very resonant with this person, in terms of, again, like your energy, your vitality, your essence. You are literally glowing when this person sees you. And some of that could be that they're looking at you through kind of like the eyes of love and romance and adoration. But it feels like for a lot of you, like you have gone through a glow up. You have really come into your own. You have worked very hard to become this version of yourself. And it is so obvious that you are like aligned with your best timeline, you're living your best life, or you've got like a clear plan, a clear path forward that you are just charging ahead towards, not putting up with nonsense, not allowing obstacles to thwart you, not allowing like doubts to hold you back in any sort of way. And this person sees that, you are kind of like orbiting around all of the right concepts, principles, practices, beliefs inside of yourself. You've cultivated like a very beautiful energy. And this is something which is now kind of reflecting in how you are sort of presenting to the world at large. You may be noticing that there's a lot of eyes on you at this particular point in time. You're drawing a lot of attention, a lot of curiosity from people, and it feels like it's really good attention. It's really positive attention. And this person as well is taking note of that, of kind of like, I know I'm not the only one who is noticing and celebrating and seeing and wanting to come in closer and create communication and, even just have like brief experiences with this person, with you, the viewer, who is just giving off this very beautiful and rare and powerful energy at this particular point in time. You have harnessed that yin yang energy within yourself, regardless of gender, regardless of what you kind of associate yourself with. It feels like you in some way have mastered moving between those polarities of divine feminine and divine masculine energy. We all have those polarities inside of ourselves. And again, it's an energy. It's not about gender. The feminine principle, that is the receptive energy. The masculine principle, that is the active energy. And so this person, which it feels like is very action oriented towards you, you activate that divine masculine principle within themselves, is really kind of like locked in to your divine feminine side, your receptive side, your magnetic side. This is definitely somebody that does not want to hesitate as far as exploring what more can happen in this situation, coming in closer to have more exchanges with you, to further the communication, further the experiences between one another. Or if this is somebody that has kind of like just sort of taken notice of you, like a secret admirer, it feels like it has been someone that has recently discovered you, and they're not going to sit around in that energy of like watching and waiting for very long. It's like they want to make a beeline towards you, sort of like, who's that? I got to go up and meet that person. I don't need to hesitate because I know rare when I see it. I know quality when I see it. I know somebody that is sitting in the energy of personal empowerment when I see it, and that is everything that is right for me. That's everything that I am looking for, so I'm going to go after that. Yeah, we also have portal. So you definitely have kind of shifted this person's perspective from maybe keeping their options open, or, being sort of like, I don't know what the future will hold. I don't know who I'll align with, if love's coming to me this year, or if this is like another season of being single. It feels like this person was very nonchalant. They as well were in kind of like their feminine energy, that receptive mode as far as love is concerned. Before they encountered you, before they met you, is kind of just like, I trust in divine timing. Whatever's meant to happen is meant to happen. I'm okay if I'm meant to be single at this point, or in a long-term sense. I'm really okay with it if I meet someone special and there's more that can be experienced there. And that's kind of like the orbit that they were taking as far as love is concerned in their life. And now they have this tunnel vision. Now the sights are set on you, and it's like, who is that? Who is this person? And the more that they are having experiences with you, if this is already somebody that you're in communication with, the closer they are like leaning in and sort of like, okay, let me get closer to you. Let me express something more. Let me have more of that experience up close and personal, drawn to you like a moth to a flame, but not in the energy of like previous people who could have just been coming close to warm themselves by your light before they flit off again. This is somebody that is like, let me come in close because I got a fire inside of me too. And I think that we could exchange in some sort of way that might even lead to the experience of like a power couple, or a very highly charged dynamic with one another. So you're definitely wish fulfillment for this person, not just for like the surface level qualities or things that they know about you. They're kind of like, okay, this matches the criteria of like what I'm interested in, what I'm looking for at this point in my life, what I know that I kind of like need, what is good for me, as opposed to things that I might have chased after in the past that could have been wants that just sort of, led to like lower vibrational experiences. It feels like this person has matured emotionally since their last relationship. The threshold of what they'll tolerate and also the criteria that they're looking for has changed slightly, but it's changed for the better. But you are also exuding this kind of like secret ingredient, this added element of something that is very captivating about your essence, about your aura. It's like this magnetic energy functions as like a halo around you that is very apparent to this person. Like when they see you, it's kind of like everybody else just seems very ordinary. Or when they're thinking back on people that they've dated, or maybe people that they've tried to get to know recently, it's like they were just so boring. They didn't really have much to offer. But you, like, I'm curious, what's behind the curtain? What are those deeper layers? What are your thoughts on absolutely everything? What can the experience between the two of us potentially lead to? We also have go with the flow. So it feels like this person has tried to be sort of like casual, nonchalant up to this point in time, but they are very tired of kind of just surrendering to divine timing in this situation. It feels like something has activated within this person where it's like, I got to swim against the current. I got to push beyond any kind of obstacles that exist between the two of us. Like if they're just sort of somebody that you haven't met yet, then that obstacle could be like coming up and saying hi, introducing themselves, kind of like asking you out on a date, or, taking time like to get to know you, exchanging contact information, finding a reason or a way to connect. So it's maybe somebody that comes in as like a friend first, or maybe this is somebody through work, through their work or your work, and it's kind of like, okay, I guess I have to come in that professional capacity, but I don't just want to sit there as like a client or a customer. I want to start to direct the focus towards, hey, so what are you doing after work? What are you doing after this? What do you think about this? What do you like? What do you dislike? This is somebody that, again, is like, they're in there very much like active masculine energy when they are around you. And so this is something where they want to take the lead, to sort of steer this ship in the direction of not just kind of going with the flow, floating down the current. This is something that's like, no, I want to put those oars in the water and swim for that shore, paddle for that shore, get us over to that other kind of ground, that other sort of territory where we can explore something deeper between the two of us, because you are a very like rare experience. I haven't encountered somebody like you in a long time or ever. You've captivated my attention, and I'd be an absolute fool to sort of let this window of opportunity pass by. We also have abundance. So this person is like, you have this energy where you're money, your wealth, you are prosperity, and it's a mindset. It's a state of being within. It's a point of energetic alignment that you have successfully cultivated within yourself. And maybe you've been trying to do that. Maybe you've been working on your finances. You've been working on your career. You've put love on the back burner. You're not chasing romance. You're chasing your best life. You've shifted your priorities around. You may have had certain successes professionally, or you're working to kind of change your narrative arc, your relation to finances, or what you're doing, with your life towards something different, towards something better, towards something aligned with purpose, or like a life that you like living, a life you don't necessarily need a vacation from. All of that effort, all of that work, maybe it's even just an abundance mindset within. You've been doing your shadow work, you've been healing, you've been up leveling, you've been making better choices, you've been cutting off like low vibrational connections, sort of letting go of low vibrational versions of yourself in order to stand very presently, very sovereignly in the now and look forward to the exciting potential of what more life might have in store for you, rather than crying over the spilt milk of yesterday, things that didn't stay in your life, people that let you go or that you had to let go of. You're sort of like, I'm here now in this present moment. What's next? What's out there? What is beyond just kind of that realm of memory and thinking of everything that went wrong, every slight that happened, every loss, every mistake? You've moved beyond that in some sort of way. Either this is like an internal change that has happened within you, and it feels like for a lot of you this is also something that's reflected in kind of like what you're putting your focus on, your time, your effort, your energy, what you are doing to sort of better yourself, better your situation, better your life. All of that has had a very tangible effect upon you energetically and actually in ways you may just now be starting to kind of know or notice. Not just in terms of like, hey, things are better for me and I know about that. I've been working in silence and so I see the results. But it feels like this is a time in your life maybe where you are getting a lot of those curious eyes, people approaching, but not with like envy or jealousy, but it's people that are approaching with like matching an energy of warmth, matching that level of abundance, matching that level of prosperity, even like enriching just temporary experiences with people, momentary conversations. You're getting a lot more smiles as you're walking down the street. You're smiling more authentically at people as you are going about your day. Like the universe is sort of like returning to you what you've been putting out, which is really good vibes. And so in keeping with that, this person, like, especially if they're a secret admirer, they are part of that wave of like the good vibes, the good karma that is headed your way, because you put the focus on the right things. You took the focus off of chasing people that were unavailable or were, not kind of like able to sort of give in an equal way that you were giving, circumstances where you weren't living up to your potential, or you weren't kind of like loving the life that you were living. You stepped beyond all of that. The universe has taken note of that. Your determination not to settle for a life that you don't deserve. And so you have taken that step forward in a brave new direction, in a better direction. And this has called in all kinds of wonderful and abundant new things. In addition to this person, to this romance, or somebody maybe that you are already having interactions with and their feelings are starting to deepen. This could be somebody that has been in your life and they have seen this glow up in action. They have watched this metamorphosis and this transformation in real time. And it's not like you weren't good enough before, but this is something where it's like if they had feelings that were kind of just like they weren't very deep, or they were hesitant, or something maybe it was just like a friend, definitely it's like as your frequency has increased, as your vibe has increased, as you are focusing on bettering yourself, this has also opened this person's eyes to kind of like, it's like they're lifting their gaze and seeing you now from this higher perspective, like, wow, you have all that in you. Wow, this is what you become. Wow, there's a radiance to you that I've known you long enough that it definitely wasn't there when I first met you. And it's not like I overlooked it. Like, you did this, you made this within yourself. You have become this, or you are in this process of becoming. And this is something that really excites this person. They're like, yeah, I want to be a part of that. I want to come in closer. I don't want to miss out on this. I'm going to swim against the current. I'm going to push against the grain. I'm not going to empower fears. I'm going to come forward towards you and see, is there something that can happen, or something more that can happen between the two of us, romantically speaking? Because you are the type of person that you are clearly like adding value to your own life through your internal processes and what you are now focusing on externally. And this is something where this person is seeing like, yeah, You may have had a lot to give as far as love and romance were concerned before, but you definitely have like increased that. This is something where this person is seeing like there is truly the possibility to have like a high vibrational connection with you, a high vibrational connection with another person, which it feels like is something that they didn't even know to kind of like think or ask for these things, but it's something in your energy or in your aura that's kind of like, wow, okay, so if we connect and we're glowing on this level, what's that going to be like as we continue to chase our dreams, as love sort of shapes us both into better people through connecting first at that higher, caliber of who we each are, something where this person, has to kind of rise to the occasion to sort of match the frequency you are emitting at this particular point in time. And then it's like, okay, as love changes us for the better, what's that going to look like? We also have courage. Yeah, so this is somebody that is working up the courage to introduce themselves, working up the courage to ask you out on a date, working up the courage to express their feelings. This might even be somebody that wants to sing your praises, give you compliments, give you those flowers, kind of like, wow, you have really gone through a beautiful transformation. It is amazing what you have done with your life, who you have become. This person, if this is someone that's in your life, they might have met you like in an earlier phase of your transformation. Maybe you mentioned certain things, but it feels like for a lot of you, you have been like building in silence, waiting for the results to speak for themselves, and the results are here, actually or energetically. So aside from love and romance, like as far as other things, abundance are concerned, you are at that right frequency in order to have those breakthroughs, in order to get those lucky breaks, those opportunities that you have been seeking. Like this is the timeline, this is that frequency. And this person that has these romantic intentions towards you, these feelings that have developed or have deepened for you, they also want to acknowledge and celebrate that. Whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is that you have cut out of your life, whatever you have introduced into your life, whatever you have cultivated or focusing on, it is working because you are shining so bright. You are looking good. You're putting out these really good vibes. This person might be very sensitive to energy. They may pick up on or read energy, and your energy feels right. It requires them to take steps up, but not in a way that it's like they're challenged or pushing against gravity, although they do have to make effort, it feels like, to step forward towards you in an open energy. But there's a sense of almost like this level up. It's a breath of fresh air. It's like, okay, here's a person that I have to put in a little effort with internally, energetically, actually, in order to kind of match that frequency or meet them on their level. But I sense that this is not just kind of like the best that there is, but it's just the first step in a beautiful new direction. So this person, may kind of start off with that sort of like acknowledging, hey, I've witnessed your transformation, or, kind of complimenting you, like you look really good. You look like you've got something really good going on with yourself. They may tell you that they're proud of you for like the things that you have going on. They may start to like ask you or be very like curious, actively listening, to you talking about your priorities, your goals, the things that, are kind of like part of your routine at this particular point in time. Because there's a sense that this person as well is trying to almost kind of like calibrate their frequency or sort of learn of kind of like, okay, well, where are your sights set? What is your focus? What are your priorities? What do you how have you kind of created this sort of balance of those yin yang energies within yourself in order to maintain and to enhance this like very like sensual, glowy kind of energy around you? Because it is in that realm that I want to connect with you and begin our love story, or further our experience in love, onward into the future. And so this is not somebody that just wants to come in and like love bomb, and like give you all these like surface level compliments just to butter you up, feed your ego. This is somebody that is like really recognizing like, no, you've cracked the code. You've tapped into some like very powerful frequency inside of yourself that obviously took work. It took work to become this version of you, and they celebrate that. And it is that version that is really like appealing to kind of like a higher version within them. So it feels like this is the beginnings or the next phase on into a very powerful potential like love connection for you. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.